If you show up wanting backdraft explosions, Ignite tells you to grab a Halligan and check your line pressure. That's the core truth here. Firefighting simulator. Ignite is less action movie, more checklist thriller. A methodical, occasionally mesmerizing loop where planning beats panic and every room is a puzzle that breathes. Quick lay of the land. Developed by Bauer and published by Astragon. Ignite drops on PS5, Xbox Series and PC at $34.99. You get almost 40 missions, first or third person play, cross-play co-op, and a surprisingly robust HQ with tutorials and a training yard to build custom scenarios. There are brand licenses, Rosenbauer rigs, Fire-Dex hex gear, and 2 graphics modes. Mission variety ramps from residential calls to electrical, gas, grease, and combo infernos, with hazards like collapsing floors and backdrafts introduced over time. It's a real sim spine with just enough game muscle to keep it moving. Here's the bold take. Ignite is the best firefighting sim on console right now, especially if you treat it like a tactics light puzzler. It's also a slow burn if you crave arcade chaos. When it clicks, it's gripping. When it drags, it's because the sim bones insist on process over spectacle. Where critics line up, 3 outlets landed around the same score for different reasons. On PS5, one reviewer called out a major visual leap over the previous entry and a satisfying loop that's urgent without being stressful, but dinged stiff controls and janky animations. An Xbox review loved the systems. Hydrants, ventilation, line management, dynamic fire that spreads based on oxygen materials, and the sense of purpose when a plan works, while noting clunky movement and AI that can tunnel vision on the wrong hotspot. A third PS5 take praised Bauer's balance between sim detail and console-friendly usability, highlighted the almost 40 mission campaign, slick fire smoke water physics, and the option to set AI autonomy per mission, but flagged frequent freezes, crashes for the non-host in online co-op, tiny menu text, and a bit of ghosting while driving. That split on AI is the heart of the experience. Ignite lets you choose how hands-on your squad should be, fully autonomous, setup only, or command only. In autonomous mode, they'll run supply attack lines, ventilate, rescue, and start suppression without you. It's impressive, until a corner case hits, like a blaze leaping outside and confusing their priorities. In tighter modes, they wait for orders and become reliable tools. But the micromanagement is on you. The moral: if you're playing solo, tune AI behavior to the scenario. Autonomous for routine single-room fires, command first when a structure is complex and priorities will shift fast. What Ignite nails. And why sim fans are eating this up is fire that acts like fire. Oxygen feeds it. Opening a door can flash it. Ventilation matters. Foam does work on electrical, extinguishes calm grease. And the fog pattern is more than a vibe. It's the difference between cooling a ceiling and steam cooking yourself. The game rewards real-world thinking without burying you in tiny hitboxes. That's a hard needle to thread on console, and Bauer mostly threads it. Pattern interrupt, the feel. Movement is deliberate, even a bit stiff. That's intentional. Not everyone will love it. You're not a doom slayer with a hose. You're hauling gear, sweeping rooms, dragging victims, calling orders. The immersion spike comes from the details. Smoke billowing when you ventilate, hoses snagging and flexing around corners, the thud of a Halligan on a door, SCBA audio huffing in first person. It sells the danger better than 1,000 particle fireworks. Now the rough edges. Animations can look goofy mid-rescue and sometimes mission pacing sags after the initial rush if a fire breaks into multiple small pockets. Online co-op is a double-edged axe. Great when it works, but one PS5 review hit frequent non-host freezes crashes. That's a deal breaker if your plan is, this is our weekly squad game. If co-op is your main reason to buy, consider waiting for a patch. If you're mostly solo or okay with friends filling in AI gaps when sessions hiccup, it's already strong. Graphics. Better than sim jank has any right to be. Flames crawl convincingly, smoke chokes visibility. Water interacts with surfaces instead of magically erasing hot spots, and you'll see plumes while driving to a call in a way that sells the city. Quality mode feels locked in. Performance mode exists if you're hypersensitive, but most folks won't need it. There's occasional driving ghosting and tiny UI text on PS5 that needs accessibility love. Let's get practical with a quick rookie to reliable toolkit distilled from what the game teaches and where reviewers bumped shins. Set AI mode by mission. Autonomy is a gift on simple jobs. For multi-floor structures, set them to set up only and issue targeted orders. Stage like a pro. Hydrant to engine to attack line. Vent early. Windows hide, doors controlled to keep rooms survivable. Match agent to hazard. Foam for electrical, extinguishers for grease, for gas appliances, water patterns for general suppression. Think air. Doors are oxygen valves. Crack and cool. Don't rip them wide and create a blowtorch unless you're ready. Use the perspectives. Third person to carry civilians and situationally scan. First person for interior nozzle work and SCBA immersion. Train. The HQ yard isn't fluff. Run drills, tweak custom scenarios, and practice line placement before ratcheting up difficulty. Co-op hedge. If you're hosting, stability seems better. If you're joining and hitting freezes, swap host or roll with AI until a patch lands. Value check. At $34.99, you're buying a niche sim that actually respects your time. There's a bronze, silver, gold rating chase, promotions, and enough mission variety to keep a weekend busy and a month of evenings satisfied. If your taste leans power wash zen, be advised, this is more pressure cooker than pressure washer. But the satisfaction when a plan comes together, victims out, fire contained, last ember sizzled, is rare and real. So where does veteran game land? This is a recommend for sim-curious players and a no-brainer for the emergency services crowd. Ignites moment to moment, has more brain than brawn, and that's the point. If you need twitchy spectacle, it'll feel slow. If you want systems that hum when you do things right, there's nothing better in its lane on console right now. Co-op reliability is the asterisk. Single player with tuned AI is already there. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. If you're nodding or yelling about, make it more arcade. Drop a like so the algorithm doesn't douse the steak. Final spark to argue about. Should firefighting games stay painstakingly procedural, even if it means stiff movement and slower missions, or add arcade shortcuts to juice the fun at the cost of realism? Pick a side and bring your nozzle pattern.